Hello guys, gals, non-binary pals, and waterfowls. It's me, Big Mike, and welcome to another episode of Big Mike's Indie Game Showcase, the series where we take a look at indie games that have released. Today we're going to be looking at Flashman Gold by Goldleaf Games, an action platformer pixel art game on Steam for Windows, Mac, and Linux. Now, just a quick disclaimer before we jump into the video. What you're going to be seeing in the background is going to be gameplay footage. Now, I'm not quite sure as of the recording of this if it's going to be linear or if I'm going to jump around a bit. But regardless, it's all from the latest version of the game. So what I like to do in my Indie Game Watch and Indie Game Showcase videos is to first look at the developer behind the game. In some cases, there is information readily available online about them, and in others, not so much, and that was the case with Goldleaf Games. So I went straight to them for information. I asked them to introduce themselves, and they said, "I'm Renee Postma, creator of Flashman Gold, 52 years old, married, 3 children, and I live in Rosendal. During the day, I'm an electrician, and in the evening, I emerge as a developer. My first game was a remake of Donkey Kong on the ZX81. My dad bought a computer magazine and there were a lot of nice try games in small." Now, here I think maybe perhaps they mean trial games, but I'm not certain about that. But also Donkey Kong. Entering the code only was 2 weeks, mainly machine code and basic. And the Commodore was much more fun. Nice colors, sound, and also a nice system to make sprites. And then I asked, "What is your history as a game developer?" And they responded, "As a child, we had the ZX81 at home and a Commodore C64. I was quite busy with that at the time, both playing games and experimenting with code and programming. So I grew up in a game and developer environment. Also, the arcade Aston at our campsite, where you had to throw in a guitar per game, was a true inspiration for me." Next, I asked, "What inspired you to get into game development?" And they responded, "What inspired me as a developer is that retro gaming kept haunting me on the PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, and the Dreamcast, the Nintendo consoles, and for the kids, the Nintendo DS. I really wanted to do it myself. I installed Xcode on my iMac, and I started to learn it, and then already 46 years old, I quickly picked it up on my first games in the App Store, Fruity Bird, Happy Chickens, and Jetpack Dreams, now unfortunately removed from the App Store because Apple wanted to have $99 per year, also for selling free games. I stopped doing this. Godot, which I was also working on in the meantime, started to fascinate me more and more, and this turned out to be a better game developer environment. If you Google it, you will find images of my old games. I started in July 2023 with Flashman Gold, and I had already some experience with programming at the time. But making pixels and pixel sprites, I still had to find tools for that. First with free tools such as PicoPixel, Krita, but animation was difficult. Yet in 2023, November, I came with the first version on Steam. No knowledge at all of how to sell your game. After all, I was happy that everyone came to play it via Steam. This turned out to be a big misconception because the visibility turned out to be linked to the number of products sold and reviewed, which I did not take into account at all. I was also very busy setting up a website as a hobby. Now I've been using Sprite for the sprite animations for 4 months, and I've also been able to improve my game. I also got in touch on Twitter with more game developers, so it became more and more fun. So then I turned my questioning towards Flashman Gold and asked, what inspired Flashman Gold? What inspired me for Flashman Gold was true. As a kid, I played Frantic Freddy on a C64. Frogger on the arcade cabinets, Qbert, Space Panic, Pixels, and platformers were in their early on. But the Mega Man series and arcade cabinets made me make Flashman Gold. And in wanting to get to know them better, I asked, "Could you tell me about your interest in games?" And they responded, "My personal taste in games, yes, that's platforming games, but also games like House of the Dead, Gauntlet Legends on the Dreamcast. Also, racing games like Need for Speed series are great, but believe it or not, I still play Frogger 1981, Outrun, Donkey Kong. Also on Steam, I play a lot of games as Bzzzt. Nice game you should definitely try. For me, inspiration enough. And then finally I asked them, what does the future hold for you? And they responded, I want to further develop Flashman. I'm also working on a world version where I now have 4 worlds ready. Super fun game already, with the Flashman Gold elements in both games are of course arcade, runner, and pixel. In the updates that follow, I'm going to be more on the storyline of the game. Now let's take a look at the Steam page. It reads, Flashman Gold, arcade-style one-player platformer game, made with passion for pixels, made for family and children, playable from the age of 6. All content is child-friendly, and all content is built with the 80s in mind. For now, you get 30 levels in a super nice design made of pixels and pixel-based tiles. The game itself, adventure, running, fast gameplay, arcade / pixel-based style all come together in one game. Because there's not a lot of information on the Steam page, we're also going to be looking at the game developer's website. And it reads, Storyline, a goldsmith, Mr. Flashman Gold, has been stolen from his gold, and now there is only one thing to do, get it back, and get the stealing monsters who did this. A fast arcade game with super fantastic sprites, music, chip sounds that bring the 80s back to your living room. These games make you happy and let you forget your daily stress, and you can easily play this game with family because there are no third-party ads. Not even ads at all. And you know what, fam? Amen to that. I hate ads with a passion. Well, let's continue. Now, this game is for all ages. Be aware of flickering and fast gameplay. 30 plus levels already and more to come in updates that stay for free. Best player can put his name and high score on the online leaderboard. If you buy this game, you're supporting basically the development of this game because I work in my spare time. This game is what my life's all about, being a hobby developer. Now I want to give my faults. And first, I want to talk about the gameplay. The gameplay has a very similar feel to many arcade classics such as Mario Bros, where you have to destroy all of the enemies on screen to progress to the next level. Flashman Gold does something unique, something I've never seen. As the stages progress, they will sometimes take on a more puzzle or strategic-like nature, so you're gonna have to figure out how is the best way to progress through each level. As the levels progress, sometimes you will notice additional obstacles will be added to the levels as well. This latest version of the game is much more forgiving than previous builds. In previous builds, once you lost all your lives, you had to start all over. However, this build includes a nice feature that allows you to choose any level to start on that you have previously played. One thing this game does differently than any other game I've ever seen is that when you lose a life, instead of restarting on the stage you are currently on, it will send you back to the previous stage. So the stakes are a bit higher than many other games of the same nature. Next, I want to give my thoughts on the aesthetics, and first we're going to talk about the music. One of the real joys I have in playing this game is its soundtrack. Several of the songs have melodies that bring to mind great classics from gaming. The music of the very first stage, for example, gives me very strong Donkey Kong Country vibes, while the music in a later stage brings to mind music from one of the final trainer battles in a Pokemon game. Also, some of the songs seem to have a strong Mega Man feel to them as well. Next, I want to talk about the art, and the art really brings to mind the original Super Mario Bros., and this is mostly due to the aesthetics of the levels. Both the bricks and the blue skies with the occasional clouds reminds me of the look of the overworld in that NES classic. And as much as I do enjoy that aspect, I think my favorite aspect of the design would be that of the enemies. The enemies are quite diverse in regards to their design, and I dare even say I have never seen such a diverse amount of enemies in an arcade-style indie game like this. Here are my final thoughts. I'm a huge fan of indie games done in a retro style, and honestly, it's one of the many reasons why I love indie games so much. A game done in an 80s arcade or NES style would never be published or promoted by a mainstream game publisher today. But as an indie game, it has the chance to live, a chance to garner an audience, and Flashman Gold is one such game. It's a fantastic throwback to what many would consider the golden era of gaming, while also going on its own way in regards to its level design philosophy. If you're interested in classic arcade games, action platformers, or pixel art games, be sure to check this one out. It's available on Steam at the link below. And if you would like to support Goldleaf games but can't afford to buy it, consider wishlisting it. Wishlisting games is a great way to support indie developers. And lastly, I just want to say thank you so much to Goldleaf Games for allowing me to try this game out. And I look forward to seeing where you take Flashman Gold in the future, as well as looking at any of your future work. And with that, we'll call the video here, fam. Hello guys, gals, non-binary pals, and waterfowls, and welcome back to another Big Mike and Slate, baby. The part of the video that's not really part of the video, while I'm all natural, uncut, off-the-cuff Duck Daddy. And how's it going, fam? This has been the first Slate in a couple of weeks now. So, just a couple things here I want to talk about. In my next 3 to 4 videos, I plan, if everything goes to plan, to be all on Sage, fam. Originally, in my last video, I said this video would be Sage related, but yeah, I kind of messed up with that. But anyway, definitely the next few videos are going to be Sage related. My next video, well, I'm not quite sure of the order yet, because I'm waiting for the Sage trailer to drop, and I want to do a reaction to that. Now, I'm not sure if it's actually going to drop in time for me to do a reaction, but I plan on doing it. There's been talk by the people behind Sage of releasing the trailer much closer to the event this year than in previous years. So I don't know if I'll get an actual chance to. So I can't really talk about the order at the moment of these videos. But these videos are going to include the first episode of Coffee with Big Mike in several years. And in this episode, I'm going to sit down with the developer of a fan game that's going to be at Sage. You know, as I mentioned previously, I'm going to do a reaction to the Sage trailer if it drops in time. I want to do a video on a list of games to check out at Sage, and also, of course, at the end of Sage, I want to do a video on my faults. So I'm hoping I'm able to do all of this. I'm hoping everything comes out smooth. The trailer's a bit of a wild card, but all the other ones I feel like definitely can happen. And if you liked my channel for my heavier content, my content on UAPs, AI, and stuff of that nature, I'm hoping, after Sage, probably more realistically after Sonic Hacking Contest, or maybe Nintendo Community Fan Convention, after that, in October-ish, November-ish, to get back into making more heavier content. So be on the lookout for that as my hardcore gaming season comes to an end. This year is kind of weird too. Normally Sonic Hacking Contest is a bit later in the year, October, sometimes November. Hell, even some years it's been December. But this year it's in September. And for me, my hardcore gaming season usually starts in May or June, and it usually peaks with Sage. But it still hangs around until SHC, but this year SHC is in September as well, so yeah, I don't know really how things are going to go on that front, but I am looking forward to getting back into covering heavier content. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do love games, but I also love variety as well, and so I am looking forward to get back into, covering heavier content and throwing the occasional gaming video in there in the mix too. But with that, that's really all I have to talk about here today. So I just want to mention I do have a Ko-fi account, and for the time being, any donation I receive, any donation you want to give, will go towards me building or I should say go towards helping me to build my dream PC, or at the very least buying a better PC. And either building or buying will allow me to have a better machine, which will open many doors for me in regards to more, more types of videos, more things I can do as a creator, as an artist, as a YouTuber. I can collab with my friends, I can explore other operating systems, and there's so much more I can do as well. But I do understand, money's tight and times are hard for many people. So if you can't give or don't want to give, I completely understand, fam. Just the fact that you're here watching this video, you made it this far in this video, and in fact you're here watching my end slate, that means the world to me, fam. So thank you very much for that, and I love you just for that. A special thanks to Fran, who does a wonderful job doing my art. She's definitely Fran, and she's gonna be back on Twitter at some point in time. And when she comes back, be sure to give her a follow and also commission her for all of your art needs. You would not be disappointed. She's a damn good artist and a damn good person to work with. I put my damn word behind that. You have the Big Mike guarantee. Thank you to all of my friends on Twitter. I wouldn't be here without you all. And a special thank you to all of you for watching this video. Please like this video if you like it. Dislike it if you dislike it. But if you want to be really cool about disliking my video, and you're watching this video, so I already know you're pretty damn cool, please leave me a comment below and let me know why you dislike my video so that I can improve myself. I can improve myself as a person, as a YouTuber, and I can put out better videos. It's a win-win situation. Also, even if you like my content or you feel indifferent about it, or somehow you wound up here and you have no idea how the hell you got here, please still leave me a comment below. Getting comments from you lovely guys, gals, non-binary pals, and waterfowls really makes my day. And it's something I really enjoy. I enjoy having conversations with you all. And if you like my content, please subscribe and turn your notifications on. Until next time, fam, remember, just be yourself and you'll be awesome. Peace out!